Good morning, curling fans. Welcome to a Saturday morning edition of the Belgian Curling League Doubles. We have an interesting matchup going on today. We have two of our women's teams, national team members, going head-to-head. Caro Van Oosterwyck with her partner Jeroen Spruyt. Caro is the skip of the women's team, and going their opponents this morning.
Yeah, it's the morning edition. It's a breakfast edition. We brought breakfast.
Got some coffee. We got some croissants. Hope everybody has a little something nice to eat to watch along. But yeah, their opponents today are SD Rox, which is Danielle Berus. I hope I'm saying her name right. I can never remember. And Stephane Vandermeeren. Danielle is the fourth for the women's national team. So it should be a good matchup. They know each other very well. They play often together, and have been training quite extensively for the upcoming European Championships. So I think both teams are going to be in really good form. It's going to be a very good matchup this morning.
Yeah, also interesting. We have two couples, mixed doubles, but also in a real life couple. So this is one of the few full mixed double face-offs in the doubles leagues. And also SD Rox, they are the current Belgian national mixed doubles team. I still recall they won their challenge. I don't think there was any challenge later on, so I think they're still the current reigning Belgian national mixed doubles team.
That is it. So they're finishing up their let's see, SD Rox has already done their warm-up and their LSD. Bilenky is finishing up theirs now. They've got a couple of minutes left before the LSD, so once they get ready for the LSD, we'll switch over to the screen. Where is... Oh. So in the meantime, we can show you the standings. We have not played many matches so far this season. So last night, Kurdia, Pim and I, we had a tough match against Wiki de Viking. We lost 7-8. Kim and Wim played just a fantastic match last night. Didn't make many mistakes. Didn't really give us much to work with, and well-deserved victory for them.
Yeah, and the 7-8 score was pretty gentle to us. It seems like we did fine, but actually I think we were down 7-1 halfway, so it was more close than we thought it would be near the end. But yeah, they definitely beat us fair and square.
Yep. So that you can see on the standings, that puts them, Wiki de Viking, top of Group A. On account of the tiebreaker, since they have the head-to-head against us. We are second, and not many matches have been played so far in the doubles league. I think we're going to start seeing more and more coming up. We've had quite a few matches get rescheduled due to injury or illness and other competitions going on. So the doubles league tends to fall in a, hey, we'll schedule it when we can.
Yeah, true.
So you might see teams play 2 or 3 matches on a weekend and then not play anything for 2 months. It's just the way things go.
And also in the doubles, we have the full regular season. So in the normal leagues, so the season is split in half. You have an autumn round and a spring round. But here the doubles is all the way up to the end of the season, where those two groups are being played. We have 2 groups, and then I think the first 3 teams of each group they play a playoff system, which will then decide who gets to be the champion of the doubles league. So I think for most teams, their goal or their ambition is to end top 3 and then move on to those important playoffs, which will be held end of the season. I think April, May.
Yep. I'm not sure exactly how the format works, if it's 1 versus 1 and just a single match to determine the champion, or if it is an actual round robin system or a knockout style playoff. We'll have to look those rules up and figure that out at some point. But that's still a long way away. So.
Yeah. But if we look at Group B right now, so I think could be already a pretty decisive, important game, since we have 2 of the teams that I would pick for a top 3 position in their groups. Caro and Jeroen, of course. Jeroen, national team. Caro, national team. Jeroen, club champion last year. And then SD Rox. We also have a lot of national teams. We have the Stephane in the seniors national team. Danielle women's national team. Then they're combined in the mixed double national team. So a lot of national badges in there.
Yeah, and Jeroen is the 3-time defending doubles champion, the doubles cup champion. So it's but he doesn't normally play with Caro in that tournament. He usually plays with another partner. So it will be but he's got a lot of experience there. Looks like they are getting ready down to the last minute or so of their warm-up. We should be getting their LSD coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, interesting warm-up. So you just have 7 minutes to get your warm-ups, to get your weights straight, to have a sense of how much it curls. 7 minutes is gone before you know it. Yeah.
We can put the split screen on and show you guys what's going out on the ice right now.
Yeah, you can see our embarrassing score in the background. Maybe we should have put that down, but as you can see, like yesterday, we won our first set with a hammer, but then I think we went into some kind of downfall.
2 and 3 were not. It ends 2 and 3 were just riddled with mistakes, and they took Wiki the Viking took advantage of it. We just got ourselves together. Oh, our camera is moving.
Yeah.
Our control board is definitely needs to go back for repair or reprogramming or something. It keeps randomly moving the cameras. And I apologize for the lean on the cameras. For some reason, they look flat to me, but they are coming out like this. And we wanted to get the broadcast started, so we're going to be a little bit tilted. Just kind of lean your head a little bit to the side.
We're still working hard to convince the club to install fixed mounts. That would help us a lot to have decent, proper mounting positions and fixed camp positions someday.
Someday. All right, so they are getting ready. So why don't we show up the
For people who don't know, players in our club, Bilenky is the blue team. Nice way to remember B for blue, B for Bilenky, and then SD Rox. That's Danielle and Stephane, so they're the red team, red against blue.
Do you want to follow the shot? All right, so here goes Caro with her first with her LSD.
Yeah.
So for those of you who aren't aware, LSDs are its last shot draw. Basically, they use it to determine who gets the hammer, who gets the choice of having hammer. And so each team member throws a stone, one from clockwise, one from counterclockwise, and then they add up the total distance away from the center of the house. And so you want the lowest number wins.
This one looks hard enough. Yeah, not that much sweeping. So
no, that's. I think that one's gonna go through. I think it's gonna be a little bit heavy.
Maybe it will stick in the back of the house. Just in the blue. Yeah,
it stays in the back of the house.
So they're going to measure the stone. Already happens.
We already missed the measure.
Well, we can't really measure from here anyway.
Yeah. We have no idea how far it is. That's probably going to be around 140 centimeters. Is my guess. So if it goes all the way through, it is 185.4 centimeters. So it's not. So that way, it's like we determined. I think that's the total width of the house plus a millimeter or two. So Jeroen coming up the other side. Definitely sweeping this one. I don't think it's going to get all the way there.
Looks slow indeed, but with a lot of sweeping.
I don't know. Are they going to oversweep it? I mean, it doesn't really matter if it goes past the button.
Oh, this is actually pretty great.
That's a 0. We can count that from here. So that counts as a 0.
All right.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
A little cheeky look to make sure it's actually over the pin. So I believe that one was. Oh, thanks, Timo.
Right, nice. Timo is on the stream. Timo is the skipper of Team Verreken. Of course, I'm guessing he'll be rooting for his teammate Jeroen, and therefore Bilenky. But he's also rooting for Belgium curling in general.
All right, so hands are shaking. Hands have been shaken. Match is getting ready. I am still not sure because we were still setting up the camera, so we did not actually see what SD Rox did. I know they went through on one of their stones as well. So we will have to check to see who is getting the hammer.
Yeah, one day we should invite Timo to be guest broadcaster or guest commentator because his insight. I was playing with him on the club championships and took a lot of advice and lessons on strategy and tactics. I think he reads the game way better than I do. So maybe if we have some kind of a high-stake game in the future.
Well, if there's a high-stake game in the future, he's probably playing in it.
Yeah.
But just throw it out there, Timo. No pressure. You don't have to commit to anything on stream now. Just throwing the idea out there. All right, so the way they are setting it up, it looks like Bilenky was the winner of the LSDs. So Danielle is going to start it off for SD Rox. Yeah, so doubles I always find is an interesting thing where you have, as the lead, you also play last. You know, throw one stone, then you have to wait. I think it's an interesting tactic of who you play where. You know, Danielle often usually throws fourth for the Blue Huskies, the women's national team. So she'll have that familiarity with throwing the last stone, but throwing that first stone, that's a little bit different. But it is also different with doubles when you have the two stones in play from the start. It's not just throw up a guard and get it there. The idea is you generally want to try to curl this one around onto the stone, but that one looked a little bit, one came out a little bit wide. Still something they could use. Something potential they can use as backing. They're discussing about where the positioning is of the room where they need to have that. So Caro's probably going to try to do something similar, just kind of draw this around. If she can get it to freeze up against that yellow in the back there, that gives them a very strong position with two right there up behind the button. This one looks to be...
Need some sweeping to get around the guards.
Close, but I
It'll
think
tap the guard, yeah.
Just too much. Taps it out of the way.
Yeah, so now they lose their guards.
Yeah. So there is no tick rule. So this year the WCF, World Curling Federation, put in a new rule in competitions called the tick rule. So if a stone is lying on the center line, within the first 5 stones in play, you're not allowed to move it off that center line. But that does not apply in doubles. There is still the 5-stone rule about no takeouts, and those first 2 stones count. So I think they want to be careful here. Not too much pace. That one didn't fall as much as they wanted it to. Pushes that one through the house, leaves another guard up there, but is still quite open to the middle. They're coming quite inside with this one. I think they want this one to fall.
Yeah, they want to fall behind their guard. This is also tapping the guard, I guess.
Yep. I think that fell a little bit too much.
Yeah.
A little bit more than they wanted to, but does So it opens things up now. It gives... I don't think they're going to take this out. I believe they're just going to draw and lay it on top. Yeah, with doubles with only 5 stones per team, you don't really have the opportunity to play a lot of takeouts. And so I think you want to leave that yellow one back there, give them some backing, make it hard to, if you freeze up against it, you can't get rid of it. Stephane calling for a slight adjustment of the broom. Not a lot of sweeping, seems to like the line. Pace seems a bit heavy, so is that going to fall enough?
So the 5-stone rule also apparently also applies to your own stones, and your team, they can decide whether to leave it or replace it.
Oh, that's something I did not know. Because I think we played last night. We didn't have any incidences with that, but I think it's come up in competitions before for us at doubles. Was never quite sure if it applied to our own stones. You should definitely learn some of the rules when we start playing doubles.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing with every game. First you know the rules and then you play the game.
Not this way.
No.
So hopefully, last night we had a power play situation in ours. Hopefully we can have another one today, so it'll be something we can discuss. And generally, a power play is when the team that has hammer and is behind has the option of putting the stones instead of starting in the middle off to the side. It opens up the house. It potentially makes things a bit... Oh, okay. You can't peel your own guard in the power play. Interesting. Learning new stuff all the time.
Yeah. See, this is why at some point we're going to have to invite Timo, especially with the high stakes game. Imagine if we're watching some big tournament, a big cash play, and then we're jabbering or telling nonsense about curling. That would be a missed opportunity.
Well, I have never proclaimed myself an expert,
No,
and
same.
anybody who's watched the channel at any point in the past will know that I am no expert, but I like hearing the sound of my own voice, and I like talking about curling. So.
Yeah.
So let's see. They did manage to move the yellow stone off the back of the button, off the back of the forefoot. So Stephane looks like he's just going to come in with another draw. Looks a bit heavy.
Yeah.
This one looks a bit heavy. I think SD Rox has kind of been struggling with their finding the right speeds, its weights this morning. And it's always interesting. I like doubles. You have such a short time to warm up. It really doesn't get a chance to rub all the frost off the pebble right away. And so sometimes it starts out slow, and then when you get into the match after the other team has done theirs, then it's a little bit faster than what you were warming up on. So your timing's a bit off. So usually the first end or two, you're going to see some stones like that where the weights just aren't what you think they're going to be. But I expect that to fully settle in. These teams to get settled in quickly. So this is likely going to be a draw. Get it around behind those guards. No, they're actually going to the outside. Oh, okay. They're going to put this one on the red. Possibly take it out. Yep.
Yeah, and maybe if they're all the way to the other side.
Get it in front of some backing. Not quite enough. It's still open, but it is sitting out. It's well behind the tee line, so it's not a great spot. Looks like they're going to try to draw outside, get behind that guard. Oh, no. Sorry. They're setting up the broom for where they're going to start. It looked like Danielle was pointing out to where she wanted to go, but I think she was just pointing out where the broom is gonna be. So,
Right. Final stone for SD Rox.
I think they want to get this one in. They kind of want to do a little bit of damage control, but it's a bit wide, honestly. I'm not sure why. Oh, no, wait, no. Sorry. I keep looking at the rooms where it's going to go, not where they're going to end up. Stephane coming down for a little bit of a discussion about timing, I think. At the weight they want to play.
He's going to help sweep. All right, here it comes.
So yeah, I think they're just going to want to put this one right in front of that yellow.
Yeah, I guess I want to freeze it up against the yellow one. Still use that yellow one as backing.
Ooh, is that going to curl in now? Ice doesn't seem to turn nearly as much as it was last night. There it goes. It starts to fall very late. Unfortunately, did not get all the way back to the yellow, so it is going to be possible to kick that red out of the way if they need it to.
This is one of those stones where curling can be very brutal. You throw about say 90% accurate, and that last 20 centimeters could make the difference between having an kind of takeout that's fairly an option versus if you freeze up against it, that changes the whole situation.
Yep. We had that situation last night where we had a stone that was 10 centimeters too short, and it was enough for them to play it away. And yeah, it happens. We've had that in matches. You see that all the time. It's like, oh, that looks so good, but it's just not quite good enough, or maybe it's a little too hard, so it taps the stone back away. And all right, so Caro has her work cut out for her.
Oh, this seems inside, or
yeah, look at that.
There's an immediate call from Jeroen to start sweeping it, so I guess that was a call for the line.
And you saw it broke really hard. As soon as it got to the center, touched the center line and started crossing over it, that just broke really hard.
Yeah.
So,
Harry.
Yeah, looking at the discussion, so we have one for SD Rox there, a little steal.
Yeah.
Steal for SD Rox, a one there. That's I mean, that's the thing. It's like those are the shots you don't practice. Those ones like right up. You don't even warm up with them. It's like those stones that go right by the center line, because a lot of times once it crosses the center line, it really just moves. And that one seemed to break quite a lot.
Right, so Stephane and Jeroen setting up the stones.
Stephane trying to take the hammer.
Yeah, sneaky Stephane.
Apparently, in the rules, if I remember reading this right, and I'm sure Timo is probably correct me on it, that if you have the hammer, you actually have the choice of where you put your stone. And whoever is at the back, whichever stone is put at the back of the house actually ends up having the hammer.
Yeah.
So you could win the end and decide, okay, we want to put our stone up at the top as a guard. And then the other team, you give the other team a hammer. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it that way, but that's exactly how I think that's how the rules are written. I can't imagine a situation where you would actually want to do that. Unless you felt like your draw game was just so on point that you could draw it around and get on that back stone. No problem. All right. This looks a little bit heavy and it's definitely wide. It's not going to fall that much.
Yeah. Actually, indeed, Timo thinks it's indeed the case, but hammer teams seem to always pick the last stone.
Okay. So I was wrong about the weight, but it was definitely further outside than or more ice than they needed. So often when teams play, when they don't have the teammate putting the broom down, they often just pick a letter on the back pads to see. This looks also going to be a touch on the heavy side. This may go through. No, that's going to curl just in.
Maybe a hit and roll, slightly tap it and roll inside. That would be nice.
That is a very good shot.
Yeah,
although that does open it up for a takeout, but they don't have they can't take out just yet. So,
hey John, can you reach one of those chocolate buns for me?
I can.
I mean, it's breakfast edition, so I'm gonna.
We should have breakfast.
Yeah.
We'll try not to chew too loud in the microphones.
Try not to crumble all over our equipment here.
Yeah. Just do it on the floor.
Yeah, the floor is way better.
Floor's already dirty. Ooh, looks heavy. This one definitely is going to be... Yeah, Danielle is pointing outside. She didn't like the weight. That is just going to go right through the house. Yep, little too strong. So Jeroen's just going to try to put this one probably either right up against those two in the house, or even just leave it a little bit short and create a guard situation so they don't so they can't use them to double out, because they're set up in a position right now that they could easily get rid of them. So I think they're just going to try to put this one in as close as they can. Ooh, it's not falling for them, though. A little bit outside. Danielle's getting in our way.
She wants to take it out.
Yep, she wants to just split everything open. Try to get some things out of there, move things around.
Get a dirty bomb in the house.
Yeah, you don't see this often in doubles. You don't see a lot of takeouts played, so... But with Stephane's weight, you know, he's been throwing everything heavy, so maybe that's a good thing for them. It's
Has
not
to
falling.
fall.
It's not falling. She's going to get one away, but... And actually, no, that yellow... Oh, no, okay, the yellow did split off a little bit. But did take out their other one. But they wanted to get rid of the... She wanted to hit those onto the two yellows in the back there, and the red. This didn't quite fall. I think it was a little bit outside on his release. All right, so this is another situation where they might try to do the same thing as last time, just kind of take that red one, tap it out of the way, roll underneath.
I wonder how the sound is. We had one mic not working this morning, so.
When we go to the near camera, I need to add that. I can do something with that in a moment. Between ends, I'll fix the sound, so we at least have some sound in the other one. Not calling for the sweep yet. They want this one to fall in just a little bit. Needs to curl just a little bit. That's going to be nice. Just enough falls in front of it. It's still possible to use that yellow, and you can see Danielle just setting up right for the putting that broom right there. She wants to just try to hit that top yellow and try to scatter it back and see what they can get out. With some good pace, I think they can get all three out. But it's gonna be tough because they got to hit that top yellow basically on the nose. Slight to the right of the nose. The important part will just be able to get like two out of there. Just try to clean up the house, get something, do some damage control right now. But this is a very important stone. Is this one gonna get past the guard? No, falls too much. Opens things up, but not really in a way that's gonna be... Well, actually, it doesn't hurt them as much as it is, because now it's like Bilenky has to figure out what are they gonna guard. They can't guard everything. They can't guard a draw. So look at where Jeroen was putting his putting his broom down. They're probably going to put a guard in the middle, prevent that takeout from going down the middle, but it's still going to leave that triple on the side. But they are definitely a very strong position right now.
Mm-hmm.
And SD Rox only has one stone left, and Bilenky has the hammer. They're on the brooms. They don't think it's going to get down there. They want to get this down.
If it's a guard, it's also fine. I think they want to avoid leaving the draw option on the left sides, right side for them.
Yeah, see, this is going to fall. They're going to try to sweep this to curl it over just a little bit. Yeah,
And
I think that'll...
I think that's a nice stone.
I think it still leaves an option for them to come around it. I think it does fall enough, but I'm not sure they can get to where they're pointing with the brooms. I don't think it's going to fall that much.
No, it needs to fall a lot, because also the guard is just left of the center line, so it needs to fall stone.
Yeah, and right now they've got 5 stones in the house, Bilenky. So they need to do something. I think damage control is the best bet. They need to just kind of draw something in, get it into the red if they can. Because they're right now... Yeah, Bilenky has 3 stones in the red. If they can get this stone full red, then it takes out one of them. Possibly 2. Hard to see on that, but yeah, they need to really get this one and get it behind the guard. Because if it somehow stays outside, they can still be taken away. Gotta make sure this one gets around that guard. I think it's already starting to fall too much. I think it was a little bit...
Yeah, it's tapping the guards.
Sweep. I think it's gonna squeeze and just tap the guard.
So
Yeah, and leaves that red in a vulnerable position where they can...
yeah, now they can do head and roll and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go for a 6.
That could be a 6 end, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the max score in a doubles game.
Because actually the red, all 5 yellows are inside that red, so they don't even need to touch it.
No, just inside of the white circle is good enough, and they have all the backing in the world.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you can see the look on Stephane's face. Yep, you know, they made some mistakes on this end.
So are we going to see a 6-ender here?
I think so. I think Caro can easily put this one inside the white. Yeah, just draw it into the middle, as long as it's not too heavy. And honestly, I don't think you're going to see it be too heavy. I think the bigger risk is potentially it being too light.
Stephane's getting ready to sweep it out just in case.
No,
but this seems fine, you know, it's straight for the button, so this is fine.
Yep. Just has to get down to the white. It's going to be there comfortably. And a big 6 end. Look at that, right onto the button just for... Just for good measure. Right,
yeah, I do it in style. This this is not half-assed work, just Make sure it's on the button.
All right, so I'm gonna try to fix the sound on the other one. If there's any little issues, I apologize. Oops, nope, that's not the right one. Studio mode. We want to be on near. And we want to add. Okay, so now we should have sound on both cameras, on both scenes. It's going to be the far microphone, so some of it's not going to be as good, but yeah, we've got a microphone that's gone bad on us, so we have to return it. So it's we're only out with one shotgun mic out there. All right, so big 6-ender for Bilenky there. They're going to start off, and I don't know, if Caro just throws the same stone she did last time, that's going to be very tough for, make things very tough for SD Rox. Jeroen just looking for this one to fall. I think he likes the weight. Looks like might be a little bit short. Gonna try to sweep that last little bit to get it in there. It just comes up a little short. Not a terrible position for them. They can draw around that again and possibly tap it back. So I think Danielle is gonna just have to put something right in front of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're pretty happy with the stone.
Oh no, they're gonna actually come around from the other side. Yeah, they've got the room to... Yeah, it's true. That makes sense. They're going to have the room to come around from that side. Try to get onto the middle. Give it some backing. On sweeping it, try to get it back there. It's going to get deeper than the yellow.
Mm-hmm. Does this leave an option for red to do double takeout?
For red? I don't
for yellow, sorry.
well, they can't take out anything yet. They still need one more stone in play, so that's not an option. I think Jeroen's going to come around and he's going to draw it around, try to tap their yellow back into a freeze position. Or, no, my mistake. They're coming around from that right side.
You want to avoid tapping that red one deeper.
Well,
unless it's hard enough and they just tap.
That's not terrible though,
no,
because it does give them, now the yellow is usable for them to tap onto the red. And it's going to make it difficult for SD Rox is going to have to play a guard, but which one do they guard? Because both sides are open. I think it makes more sense to put it, where Danielle is. Oh, we're not seeing Danielle.
Yep.
Where she's pointing it, put a guard out in front of that yellow one. That one's more open. It's a little bit easier to get to, so you want to protect that one first. Oh, that's a little bit heavy and a bit outside. Yep. Yeah, Stephane has been struggling with his weights on draws this morning. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so I reckon this is going to be a draw. Get it around that top guard. Tap that yellow one back. Try to push this one a little bit in. Looks like it's a bit inside, though. A little bit light. So that's going to fall into that pocket and not really move that yellow to a good spot. Still moves the yellow in closer. It's still actually exposed to tap in the red. It does make it harder for SD Rox to kind of take it out, so I think they're going to have to set a guard. Okay, so Stephane's setting up for a draw. Gonna put a guard up there.
Yeah.
He's got to get his weight right. I think he's really got to err on the side of being too slow. Looks a bit inside from the broom and looks quite a bit heavier than they want. He's still gonna get that in there.
It's definitely not a guard, so it will tap some stones. And I think now yellow's on shot position. Or no, it's still red.
Still the red. But they can still get in there. Bilenky could still get in there to tap that yellow in deeper. At the very least, it'll move that red out of the way.
So they're reconsidering their options now. Jeroen's coming back. So they want to reach that second shot yellow to tap red out of the way, but then I think they're looking on side effects. See if they also can get that other red one out of the house.
I don't know that they could get everything out of the way, and I don't know if they'd want to at this point.
Yeah, suddenly, thanks to that sixth sense, they're in a comfortable position, and they can just be happy with winning an end, even if it's by 1 point.
Yeah, they don't need to go for big points. They just, the more, if they win every end by 1, it's enough. More than enough. They just need to prevent like SD Rox from having a big end themselves. Mm-hmm. The more pressure they can put on them to even only take 1 is is good. Yeah, so. Yeah, this one they're just gonna play this red one out. It's gonna curl a little bit. But it's gonna tap the red, get on the yellow. That's gonna make it close. I still think the red is shot, but
Yeah, I think red's still shot, but they have a lot of stuff in front, and they can still tap one of their yellows.
yeah,
better.
Yeah, I don't think SD Rox can really get into any more. I don't think they could score anything. So at this point, they just need to make sure that they can prevent Bilenky from scoring anything.
They're laying start, but it's a tricky shot because it's behind the T line, and every tap could be.
Yep. No, Stephane needs his weight to be good on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It still looks heavy. Danielle's pointing it where she wants it. She's trying to sell it to slow down. It is not slowing down. It's a little bit wide.
And will they tap the yellow? Oh no, this is what they don't want to have. Tapping the yellow one in a better position.
Oh, that was exactly what they did not want.
No. I think that was kind of worst case scenario. Now they've lost to that one stone they were riding on.
Yep.
So
and now
Bilenky is sitting.
They're sitting one.
They're sitting one, yeah. But can they take their red one out, or is it still kind of too deep behind all of the other stones? I think they're looking for options to score 3 points if possible. See if they can get that red one out.
Yeah. Yep, they're looking to see what they can do. They can tap that leftmost yellow back. I think they're talking about like hitting a double off the red, but they're looking to see if there's anything that SD Rox can use to score to try to get in there. I think that red one off to the side is the only one they're kind of afraid of. But that would take like a pretty incredible double to get it to hit and slide over and get that yellow.
I think they're looking to hit their red one on the inside and then maybe roll in.
Yep, I think that's exactly what they're going to call. So this is going to have some pace on it.
Yeah, good thing is they can't really make the situation worse for them. It can only get better.
Yeah, this is definitely going to have some pace behind it.
I need some sweeping.
Oh, that's inside. Is that going to hold?
This seems good. Ooh, well.
No. It does get rid of that red.
Yeah.
It does get rid of the red, and I think that was the most important thing. Now the question is, what can SD Rox do to... Can they score? Can we see the other overhead? I know Stephane's in the way, but I don't know that they can score.
Yeah, yellow has so much in front, kind of in the red zone. You can't curl behind it. And that yellow stone is sitting also kind of deep. Can they do... No, they can't do peel weights. Because their red stone is also backing for that yellow shot stone, which is unfortunate. I don't see that many options. Maybe, like in chat, if you have, what would be the key to score a point or win the end? I don't know if Mastermind Timo is sitting here working out a master plan.
I honestly don't think there is anything they can do.
Or is it like a checkmate situation?
I looking at the overhead, or from what we were looking at the other end, it just doesn't seem like you can really do anything. She's gonna maybe try to curl something around.
It's so hard. I
and
mean,
see,
there's
but
so little space to crawl there.
yeah, I think this is just drawing dead here. I don't think there's much of anything that they can do. Yeah, she's quite wide. I think they're just throwing the stone away to
Yeah.
potentially prevent giving them any extra points. So we're looking at one yellow. So one more for Bilenky.
Nice steal. Yeah, there was not that much they could do with their last stone anyway.
No. Yeah, unfortunate for Stephane's last stone. That really put them in a bad spot. Worst case scenario, like you said, put the tap the yellow into play and put it frozen up, or with backing of their own stone, so they couldn't get rid of it. So that was definitely an unfortunate stone for them.
All right, so rocks back in place.
Sorry, trying to steal a bite of my croissant in between ends. All right, so, yep. Standard first stone. Caro's going to try to draw this around the guard right up onto the button. Looks a bit inside. Aaron's going to sweep this hard, but I am not sure this is going to get around the guard or even have the weight. So they are going to... set up another guard there. Kind of splits, kind of makes it a little bit wider in the middle there, but I think the stones get around that easily. The draws will get around that easily with the right weight. And I think you're seeing that if the stones are outside, they're not falling nearly as much, but on the inside, they really do drop. But that was a bit slow, so I think that one was... that was more due to the pace there. This will comfortably get by the guards, but is it going to be too much weight?
It looks a bit deep.
It's going to be a bit deep, and it's going to tap that red one. No. And it goes just through it.
Yeah.
Might actually be biting the back. The way they're looking at it and leaving it there, I think that's just biting the back of the house. This looks to be similar. A little bit wide, though. And a little bit heavy, I think. I think that one's going to go... that one's going to get into the house.
Yeah, they want to sweep it as deep as possible to avoid having a hit and roll option for SD Rox.
Yep. All right, interesting. They're looking to set up a something they can promote. But I think it sets up a double or a takeout opportunity. We're gonna see. Looks heavier than Danielle wanted. If she wanted that in the top of the white, I think that's gonna be a little bit heavy. I think you're looking at it's gonna be back on the T line. Maybe just a little bit behind it. All right, so now that gives Jeroen something to work with. All right. Looks like they're going to try to just draw it onto the front of that. Let that red one sit, use it as backing. And if the stone is slightly heavy, then it could still be like tap in off the red and get further buried onto the button. Which I think would be the ideal situation. It's going to be cutting it really close to those guards. Is Caro going to be able to sweep this around?
Yeah. Will it get around? That's the question. I think
so. It looks good. Looks like it's got the right weight. She's just got to now make sure it gets down to the house, down to the button. Is that going to be enough? I think
just in front of the button, but well, they can use it.
They can still use it, but yeah, with the SD Rox sitting 2, I think they're definitely going to try to play a guard. Or maybe they come around from the other side, but I think the way Danielle's setting up with the broom, that Stephane flashing the guard symbol.
Yeah.
But yeah, really protect this. They're sitting 2, they lie 2. Try to guard this. Now this is where Stephane's been having trouble today, this morning. He has not been doing so great with his draw weights.
Yeah.
A little bit heavy all morning, so hopefully he can put this one in there.
But it's not because you're down 7-1 that you can't win the game anymore. You have to keep up.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty of ends. You still got to keep your chin up, try to fight back. This looks to be pretty good weight.
Yeah, nice.
A little bit deep. But it does make it more difficult to use that yellow for anything. They're looking to see if they can get those reds out from the back, possibly with the peel weight. But I think with that draw being so wide open, yeah, that's what they're seeing now as they're looking at the draw from the right side there. Yeah, ideally they'll get this one in on the button, but even if it's a little bit short, it does take the option away from SD Rox to bring another stone in and try to score 3 or more. So as much as they want this one on the button, light is also good, but this one's definitely not going to be light. Is that going to curl in enough? I think that's going to be an excellent stone, just going to get right inside the white there. Taps the red away, leaves it a bit deep.
Yeah, I think we're hoping for it to fall a bit more, so it was more in the white, and have that red stone as a little bit of backing.
Yep. So if Stephane, now he's been a little bit heavy on a lot of his stones, so if he throws the same weight as he did on the last one, he could potentially, and it falls enough, he can tap that yellow one back out of the way and still be sitting in 3. They could end up getting 3 here. So obviously the most important thing for them is to get inside that yellow, but if they can be just a little bit heavy, I mean, you're not talking very much. It only needs about 10 centimeters, I think. So the risk is being too heavy and missing your line out completely. So this needs to be very close to the guard, I think. It is on the heavier side. It's going to be a little bit wide of the guard. Danielle's trying to wave it over. Gets enough of the yellow though. Gets it out. Shooter stays, but it's in an open position. And I think it moved one of the reds outside of the yellow. It's really hard to see if that top, the yellow at the top of the red, top of the forefoot is more or less than the one in the back. So certainly they're sitting 2 SD Rox, potentially 3. But that one in the that's in the white is definitely open. I can use that to I think you're going to see the same shot from Caro. Really just try to get it tight on the those yellow guards up top, and just get it on the inside of that red and tap it away and roll into the button behind. Nice, lots of little protection there. Now the danger of this one is if it's too heavy, it won't fall enough, and it would just tap the tap that red in deeper. This one looks a bit outside and a bit heavy. Jeroen's going to try to sweep this one to turn a little bit inside, but I don't think it's going to have enough. I think it's going to hit that outside of the red and just tap it into a safer spot.
Mm-hmm.
So
red setting 2, and with a decent draw option, they could score 3 points.
Yep.
And this is kind of how you try to crawl back into the game. Just win your end, and if you have opportunities to score 2 or 3.
Yep. This is a good opportunity for them. All they need to do is get this full red, and it's 3 points. So they don't even have to get it on the button. They just got to make sure it gets all the way into that red. Probably not even all the way, but all the way is a safe option to make sure that yellow is not counting or doesn't take that count away.
Now let's do a good draw shot here.
Yeah, these seem like the easiest, but I think these at the last stone with an open draw, they tend to be the more nerve-wracking, because it's like you've got to, oh, is it too hard? Is it too soft? Do I have the right line? Ooh, she's waving it off. It's gonna be past the guard.
Yeah, but is it hard enough?
No,
it tapped the guard.
Much. Oh, they would have swept.
Yeah, they had to sweep.
Good. That. I think she thought it was too heavy.
Yeah, so they just scored 2 instead of 3.
Still a good end. I mean, they played well. They took advantage of shots. You want to do that's got to make them feel better that they're getting. They got a shot. They got 2 stones back. They're still down by 4, but there's 4 ends to play, so it's not panic mode yet. But
yeah,
I think they need another.
If you're behind, you don't want to miss out on those kind of 3 points.
Yeah, those missing those open shots like that. Those do always hurt. It's
seems like you can't do anything wrong. There's a good option to score, and
then it puts the hammer, but it puts the hammer back in the. Oh, we're on the. Oh, sorry.
No.
We're
yeah, so looks like we're having a little break here.
Between the 4th end, you got a small intermission, little 4 ends. Oops, I'm out of the shot. There we go. Hi there.
Hi there. So halfway the game, we have a kind of small bio break. Let's call it a bio break. It is. So, what's your take on the game so far?
Bilenky is playing very strong. SD Rox Stephane has just been quite heavy on his draws. He's been really struggling with finding the right weight on those, and it's hurt them. They're behind on a lot of things. It's really allowing Bilenky to really just put stones where they want to, make a lot of noise out in front of the house. and score. It's really you look at that 6 end. I mean, that's the maximum points you can give up in an end, and it's you don't see those often.
And a 6-ender that really influences the course of the game. You kind of adjust your choices. Do you go conservative? Do you go offensive? That really puts Bilenky in a position where they don't have to take all of the risk. They can just take it pretty easy. If they can win an end, that's fine. They don't have to look for options to score 2 or 3 or take difficult shots. If they can just take away opportunities for SD Rox to score, basically. Or is it too early in the game to be that conservative?
No, I think you can. I think you can sit back and say, okay, well, we don't need to go for this low percentage shot. You know, they can look for they can pick and choose when they want to be aggressive. They can sit back and it's not going to cause them any problems. But yeah, SD Rox is going to have to go and play those extra, there's a lower percentage shots, you know, the high risk, high reward things where, okay, if it doesn't work out, we're giving up more points or we're going to miss things. You know, they've got to take advantage of the opportunities when they can get as many points as they can. So that last end, missing that last draw, that's an extra point. You know, it's a whole lot different being down 7-4 than 7-3 with 4 ends to play. So you're going into this next end without the hammer. And so you've got to try to, you're looking to score when you don't have the hammer, and so this is going to be an important stone for Danielle. If she can get this one into a good spot, switch the advantage of the end, you know, that's why this first stone in doubles is crucial. You can flip the advantage of the end just by drawing it around onto the button, but this one's going to be a little bit wide. The weight was good. I think it was really good weight, maybe a touch heavy, but it's really just not falling as much as they want from that side. So Caro's going to come around from that same side. She's probably going to just do the same thing. Jeroen's got the broom out early, so he definitely thinks it's going to be a little bit light. They want to get this one around that guard. He's going to try to drag this one as deep as he can.
Wow, nicely
done around the guard.
Yeah. Not as deep as I wanted it, but
it's still it still makes that draw from that side, from the we're gonna call it the open side and the closed side, because left and right doesn't always work. So
I always mix up left and right.
Yeah, it depends on which angle you're looking at it. Now he's coming from the left. As soon as we switch camera angles, it's going to be coming from the right. So coming from the wall side over here, this one is, they've got that draw, but
this one is falling too hard. It will slam the guards.
Yeah, a little bit inside. That's going to give that yellow. Actually, it gets out around the yellow. So now it's open. It's sort of a corner guard. Something they could use to tap in. But it just means that wall side is open for a draw. Bilenky opting to come from the other side. I think they like the idea of tapping their own yellow back and then leaving a guard. So just needs to sweep this one. It's a little bit outside. Does go behind the T line, so it's going to make it harder to use as an angle, as a hit, a raise, or not a raise. I don't even know what you call that. It's not a takeout. I mean, a hit and roll. That's it, I guess. It's going to be harder to use that as a hit and roll, but I think so. They're just going to draw up that side. Yeah, I honestly thought Bilenky would have come up the wall side and just tried to draw it in there, maybe take it out, because they had cover that top left that was protecting. I mean, it's still there, but they've still left the other side open, so it always looks a little bit heavy, but he is sweeping it, so yeah, I think it's too heavy. They're trying to get that to fall. It's gonna be a little bit deep. Yeah, just another draw at the wrong weight from Stephane this morning. Yeah, Jeroen. Well, I was gonna say he's indicating he's gonna go, you know, from the wall side, but then he switched his hand to the other side too, and all right, looks like he's gonna go open side. I think they're gonna try something, a similar shot. They're just gonna try to tap that yellow one back into the house, potentially tap it back onto that red to give us a freeze, some backing. It's gonna fall a little bit too much. It's gonna tap it straight back. Oh no, no. Just perfect. Absolutely frozen up against there. Leaves a guard in front of it. Great shot there, great stone. It's not so obvious on this one. You got to look at well, the draw from the wall side is open, but if you don't get it right, then they have that yellow. Bilenky has that yellow just in top of the house, just outside the top of the house that they could use to promote or try to run back takeout. So. Yeah, it looks like they're going to try their own little double here. See if they can't get that yellow one back out of there. Try to get some of these yellow stones out of play so that they can potentially try to steal one here. Yeah, it looks like they're switching up the call. So Danielle's setting up to promote that red one out of the way. So here comes Stephane. They're going to try to promote the red one onto the yellow. I don't know if that's going to fall enough. It looks a little bit outside.
Danielle calling it to fall, but will it fall enough?
Well, it does get on there, and it taps the yellow. All right. Well, I think they kind of wanted that to hit and stick, to like the jam on the yellow, but they did get it out of the way. There's only one yellow there, but yeah, Bilenky has. Nope. Bilenky has the hammer, so it's gonna be. They've got options here. That one yellow is frozen behind on top of the red, so they can't get rid of that one. And I think what you're going to see here is just another tap back from Jeroen. I think he's just going to tap that top yellow one. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going for. Looks a touch light. Is that going to have enough weight to get that back there? Not quite enough. Just a little bit on the light side. But again, it's blocking off the open side on the others. Danielle really needs to draw this one in. She doesn't have the backing on the 4-foot side that keeps it in, so she's really got to get this one in. I'd say she wants to be top side of the button and really try to get this behind the guard, but not sure it's falling that much there. So I think this one, they really need to get this one to go just tight, really tight on the guard to give it a chance to be hidden. I think that's going to clear the guard easily. Is that going to have the weight to get in there? I think that's not going to fall enough. It's going to have good weight. Got to get that all the way into the red. Try to get it to bite on the button. All right. Well, it is shot stone, but I believe they can just get rid of this. I think they can hack weight. Hack weight gets rid of it. Definitely looking at different options.
Yeah.
You could see that yellow, the top yellow, if they angle that one back, they could actually run that back onto the red and then sit a second one. And I think that is what they're looking at. Either one of those two yellows is usable to get back at that red. Obviously the top red's a little bit, top yellow is a little bit more open. I don't want to say easier, just saying it's more open.
We're also going to see Caro's signature slides, the lowest slides of the entire club, and maybe lowest slide in Belgium. He's a low rider, a low slider.
The peekaboo. She hides behind that stone and then pops out when she's let it go. It's got the weight. Does this have the line? Might be a touch on the outside. No, I think that's going to be... Yep, just a bit outside. All right, so SD Rox stealing one.
Well, they need those steals. It's
Yeah, puts them a little bit closer. They've got to do this. I think Bilenky needs to make sure that they're not too conservative the rest of the way. They don't want to...
Yeah, they haven't won yet. I mean, 1-6 center is not enough to carry all the way to the end, maybe. And it's good for the game also. I mean, we want to have a very tense last end.
We want it to go all the way to the last stone. We're getting our power play. All
Power
right.
play. All right.
SD Rox opting for the power play now. So they're down by 3. So they're using this. It puts the stones off to the side. The starting position is off to the side. So the there's nothing to go. They have to build up the middle, and so it makes it a little bit easier to try to score points. But it is a I don't want to say it's risky. Honestly, we played it last night. I wasn't sure. It was the first time I'd ever played a power play. We made some good decisions. We just didn't quite get that 3 stones that we needed. But I think here what you're going to see is, Danielle is going to try to put something inside that yellow. Hopefully freeze it on the inside of it. So that way that gives them the shot and something that can't be moved. Sweeping it to get it down there looks pretty good.
Best shot is to freeze it up against the yellow one. But as long as it's sitting behind the guard, I think they'll be happy with this one, I guess.
I don't know. It's still open. That's sticking out about halfway out from behind that guard.
Yep.
And there's nothing behind it. So that is still, and they can get rid of that. They're going to hope this one falls. Looks like it's starting to move. Is that going to have enough weight to actually get out of the way, or are they playing for a freeze themselves? Looks like they're going for that freeze as well, so it really takes that red one out of the way. Just right up on it, so not quite frozen, but
you have to let it go if it's not quite frozen.
And I actually think the red is still... It's close. Red might be shot here. So SD Rox is just going to split the house. They're going to force Bilenky to make a decision. Do they start chasing stones, or do they try to put something in their own position? Yeah, it's really close between the red and the yellow, but I think the red is just shot.
Danielle's going to help to sweep.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a little bit light. They really needed that one in the house, inside the white.
Just touching the blue.
So it's potentially scoreable, but they would have to get rid of the 2 yellows in order to make that one count. So that one definitely needed to get inside the white there.
And Caro's coming over to discuss their battle plan right here.
Oh, yeah. So looking at potentially doing a hit and roll. So using their yellow will tap that red out of the way. It'll stay frozen, and then having their shooter slide to the other side of the ice. So then that'll force SD Rox to start chasing stones on either side of the house. Oh, Caro wants him to sweep. Afraid this one might fall too far. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. It's going to get that hit. Is it going to get that roll?
Red is out, and they are sitting with 3 stones, so that's a pretty nice shot.
Yeah, very good shot there.
Nice one. Fist bump at Team Bilenky.
So Stephane's coming down. They're going to do their own hit and roll here. Try to get this one to go under those yellows, but I think it's a bit too far to the side, although that might roll underneath those red.
Yeah, it rolls behind the red one. At least takes that
Not
one.
in shot position, but it's still open too. I think they can easily just kind of hack weight, maybe a little bit heavier hit, and then they could potentially roll underneath that red as well, so then it would be guarded. Bilenky's not going to worry too much about scoring a lot here. They just want to keep SD Rox from scoring, to be honest. All right, Jeroen's on it, trying to sweep it over, trying to help it curl a little bit. Not quite enough. It does get the red out of the house. And shooter stays in the house as well, so... Alright. SD Rox is going to try to get this one, try to get something out of the way. Danielle potentially looking at a double here. All right, no call for sweeping. Stephane did not follow it. Probably figured it was too fast. He is going to get that top yellow. Is it going to get back onto the back yellow? It does get back onto the back yellow, but it jams. And it's close, but I think red might be shot right now. Yeah, I believe red is shot right now. It's pretty well guarded, but I think they can just do a freeze up against it, get slightly inside of it, and take it out of play. Take it out of play that way. Sometimes I see them tap brooms on shots and go, wait, what are you thinking about over there? That doesn't make sense, but I think sometimes Jeroen just taps his broom out of habit more than actually calling a shot. When he's talking, I think he's just tapping it on the ice. Maybe looking at, okay, the stone could end up over here, but...
By the way, do you know why they are called Bilenky as a team name?
No.
They have a bike, a duo bike, a tandem, and they can they ride it pretty often. They use it to do big trips, and the manufacturer of that bike is Bilenky, so they use that as a metaphor for their doubles team. I don't think it's a sponsor though.
It would be nice if they were sponsored. So Bilenky, anyone from Bilenky out there, you know,
probably not.
Sponsorship opportunities are available. Ooh, a little bit on the heavy side. Yep, misses the red.
We'll split them. No.
Yeah, taps the yellow one back. Yep. But I think red is still shots. Bilenky has the hammer, so SD Rox needs to put something here, and I think they need to put it there and just hope that Caro misses the open draw. Yeah, I think the safest bet is to kind of freeze up against the inside of that yellow and force them to take a draw. And then hope that it misses. Hope they end the score too. Steal a 2 would be huge here.
Yeah, indeed.
Puts him down by 1 with 2 ends to play. Would be quite big. Is this a bit light? Is it gonna fall too much?
Tapping the guards.
They want to get this one still in, guys.
Yeah.
Let's try to sweep it into the white. Okay.
So what are their options right now?
Well, Jeroen's tapping it like he wants to do the double.
Yeah, wait.
I don't know that that's the smartest play. It would certainly be a good shot.
Yeah, he knows we're recording shot of the matches, so I think he has that in mind. He wants
Maybe.
he wants to have a trick shot here. No, I don't think so. I just think he wants to do a takeout. Clear last stone.
Yeah, clear this out. Hold the shooter. At worst, give up 1. I don't think they want to give up 1. I think they really do want to take this end.
Yeah. Just go for a clean nose hit. Take the points and kind of maintain your leads going into the 7th end.
Yep. Yeah, being up by 4 going into the 7th is certainly better than being up by 2 or potentially 1. And having the hammer in the 7th. I think you'd rather have the hammer in the 8th, so... Ooh, she bit inside. Is this going to be able to hold on? She's sweeping it good. Yeah, Jeroen seems to like it. And yeah, that is going to...
Okay, rolls nice. Shooter says. And that's 1 point for yellow.
At least 1 yellow.
Yeah, they're double checking, but it really seems to be 1 yellow from where I'm looking.
I am not sure. They are checking both pretty well, so it's for sure 1 yellow, possibly 2. We may see the measuring stick, but...
We want a measuring stick.
Yep, Stephane's going for the measure.
Okay, awesome.
Ooh, we pay a lot of money for this thing, so they should use it. I don't think it's called the measuring stick.
It's definitely not a stick. It's more of a ruler or...
The device, the measuring device.
Device, yeah.
So there's a little micrometer on it. So a little lever on a spring. So they set it up, they push it on one, lock it down, then whichever one pushes it further away is closest. So they'll look at this and kind of see, it's probably so many millimeters. Get a number, remember that number, slide it over to the next one. And go, did it move more than that millimeters? So we have no idea.
No, they don't.
No reaction at all.
I can't read their faces also. Well, it's a big surprise.
So we won't know until they show us or they put it up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they don't care about people watching the stream. They don't care about the internet, the whole worldwide community watching the Stens game.
Leaving us in suspense here. Was it 1? Was it 2? We don't know. Well, at least we know they have to put the score up because it's not the last end. If it was the 8th, then they often just don't put the score up on the board. So
yeah, I'll just make I guess it's 1. Okay, nobody cares to update the scoreboard.
Nope.
That's not important. I mean, who cares about the scoreboard if you know the score by heart, right? I mean,
no, I think
so. Oh no, Stephane's going to
go put it up there. Were we right? Were we wrong? Let's find out.
Is it 1? Is it 2? It's 1.
1. All right.
Just in time to catch Caro slides.
That second point would have been huge. I mean, it's already hard enough to get a 4, but in doubles there's a big difference between 4 and being 4 and 5 down. And so this is another end where SD Rox has to score.
Yeah,
They've got to score multiple points, preferably 3 or 4.
And this is the end that will decide. I think if they would do a handshake or go into the last end. I mean, you only have 6 stones to score in a doubles game, so being down 4 is a.
Yeah, so if SD Rox can't score multiple stones here, I think you'll see a handshake. Well, I don't know, 8 to 5.
Yeah,
but you don't have the hammer. Do you really shake hands with only down 3? Down 4 for sure. Down 3. It's always possible.
Yeah, because if you're down 4, you need to score a 5 and for a win, 4 and for a tie. This one is way too wide. It will tap in the yellow one in a better position. This is worst case because now they're just improved Yellowstone.
Yeah, I think in this end, you're just going to see Caro and Jeroen just play not conservative, but safe. They're not going to try anything too difficult. They're just going to put in a guard in front of this one. I think maybe, at best, they might run it back or to freeze it. But they're mostly just going to try to sit and make the SD Rox work to score any points here.
Yeah, that could be a strategy. Just kind of force SD Rox to play difficult stones.
This looks a bit wide. Is it going to fall enough? A little wide and a little heavy.
It falls less than yesterday. Yesterday, those stones would have fallen, but this one is going straight through the house. It's better to be too deep than to leave options for SD Rox to use it.
Yeah, and with doubles having reduced fewer stones, yeah, they can't just go and play. Okay, we'll do a run back. We'll try to take out because they also need that redstone. They need their redstone in the house to stay in play. They need it to score. So this is definitely not an easy. Not going to be an easy end for them. For SD Rox. I think that's around the guard, but is it again too... No, I think he's found a good weight. It's going to get nicely around the guard. Look at that fall, like right there.
I think this could slide just on top of the button. And it also taps the yellow one in a position where they could take it out afterwards. I think this looks... I think Stephane could be very happy with this stone.
Yeah, it's a good stone.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be able to take that yellow one out later. Actually...
Well,
I believe that Jeroen could use this yellow to tap that back red out of the way. And it would leave that other red slightly unprotected. Yeah, I think they actually just want to tap the outside of this yellow. They can tap it into a good scoring spot. Might be a little bit light though. I think that's going to come up just a little bit short. They're going to sweep it, but it's not going to quite get there. They might also have just been guarding against SD Rox doing something with it.
Yeah.
But I think what they're looking at here is potentially using that red. If they hit it off to the right side there, the wall side, it will tap that yellow one out. And give them 2 that way. So that might be a play. Right. I don't know. This one looks a little bit wide. Yes. Danielle's throwing her arm out there. She thinks it's wide. Is that going to fall enough? I'm not sure. We'll never know because Danielle's in the way. Oh, yes, it does just fall enough.
Yeah.
Doesn't push the yellow far enough away, but it does get that red on the button. But I think where the shooter ended up is going to put that into a position where they could potentially double that out. Possibly even triple. With enough pace, they might be able to triple those reds out. I think we're going to see some heat on this stone here.
A lot of focus with Jeroen, taking the time to really...
All right. Apparently I was wrong about the heat. I mean, it is coming fast, but I was thinking quite a bit stronger. Could be a little bit outside. Yeah, I think that's unfortunately just going to nose hit. And honestly, I think that gives something for SD Rox to hit and roll into. But that doesn't do them any good. Honestly, it doesn't. I don't know what they could do to get inside that yellow one.
Yeah.
Though.
I mean, that yellow one is pretty annoying because that prevents them from scoring more than 1 point. And I think Bilenky is pretty happy with giving them 1 point and taking the hammer into to the last end.
Yeah, yeah. I think you could potentially see handshakes if SD Rox only scores 1, being down 3 with the hammer or without the hammer. That's gonna be very, very difficult. Oh, thank you all. But I still also think they do need to get rid of that yellow. I don't know. This one's not going to get around that top guard.
Is it hitting the guards? It is.
And then it's going to roll off too far to the side. I think if that had managed to stay. So now it's wide open. They can... Yeah, they can get rid of both of those reds, I think.
Can they really?
Can we look at the other camera angle? Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think their shot stone will still stay in play because they have the backing.
No, if they hit it off to the side, like left side or wall side of the nose, that might be able to squeeze them through, and it'll hit the red on the button on the pin. Will still hit that red on the back, and I think it will have just enough room to get past that yellow.
Yeah, Stephane looking at the scoreboard to see like. Do we still have a chance?
Look up there, air conditioning to see if it's still running.
Yeah, well, that's... All right. Could this be the last stone of the game, or are we going into an 8-10? We'll see in just a minute.
Looks pretty good. Is it gonna fall enough just to get? Because it can't be too far to the side. Oh,
wow.
That is enough.
I think yellow's shot right now. I don't think red is.
Yeah, I think that was enough to get. Can they do anything to get rid of those yellows?
Yeah, it's hard to tell from the angle we're facing. But
I don't know.
I don't know. Whoop.
It looks like from where Stephane's setting up, they're just going to go for the draw. Try to get that one. That tells me if they get it, I don't think they'll give handshakes, but I don't know. You just never know. And it could be, it's close. Could be that red is still sitting shot. This could give them 2.
My guess is yellow's shot. I don't know.
Oh, is that going to have enough to get there?
No, it's too slow. It'll fall too hard. It will tap the yellow one, and will that change anything in the house if there are some taps?
No.
So now the question is, who is shot?
All right, so
do we have to measure again?
maybe we get to measure again twice in a row. It looks
Yellow.
like nope, yellow.
Yellow confirmed.
Yellow for Bilenky. And that puts them up 5 going into the 8th end. Do they play it out or do they shake hands?
Yeah, I think they're discussing, yeah. I think Bilenky definitely wants to play. But are they really going to play? I mean, I don't think they can win the game.
No, they can't, but you know what?
Well, curling is still fun to play. It's just one end. Why not? Why not just finish the game?
Yeah. Practice.
Yeah.
And we have seen a 6-ender already this morning, so maybe another one?
Yeah, that would be the turn of the season, the kind of the comeback of the season, I guess.
Absolutely. All right, no power play available for SD Rox. They've already used it up in the 6th end, but I think we're going to see just some classic stones here from Bilenky. Throw it into the house. Make the other team do stuff with it. We might see a few more like high risk, high reward shots because, well, what do they have to lose? So this could be an interesting end of curling.
Yeah, that 6-ender was really what sealed the deal in hindsight. Because other than that, I think that was a pretty tight game. They both had their options, their chances.
Yep.
So they were just so unfortunate to take 6 stones and then.
Yeah, it puts such a it's such a mentally it changes your mental outlook on the game too.
Yeah,
Giving up such a big end early in the match, it feels like, oh, we're digging ourselves out of a huge hole, and that has an effect mentally. What kind of shots you're gonna take, what kind of decisions you make.
Yeah, it feels like after 2 ends, you feel like you've lost unless something spectacular can happen, or unless you play your best game, outperform. This one is wide,
but I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, but then they have to sweep it to get it deep enough to not leave a hit and roll.
No, it's deep enough. It's back of the white. I think it's. Nope, not even second shot. Unfortunately, went a little bit too deep.
Yeah, and Jeroen just wants to kind of finish it quickly.
They're just gonna sweep around the other side, get this tight to the guard. Danielle stands in the way.
Well, she has all right to stand there. Our cameras are just too far off.
Oh, and it just sneaks around.
Wow.
Kissed that yellow, but has just enough to go through.
She's very happy with this stone.
That was an excellent stone there.
Yeah. This is kind of... Yeah, she knows, and she gets some compliments from Danielle as well. Very nice stone.
Yeah, we see that a lot in our leagues here, where teams recognize a good shot when they see it. They're not afraid. You may not see that at the higher levels because you don't want to like do that kind of stuff in the middle of a match. But here we often kind of recognize, hey, yeah, that was a good shot. You know,
we all know how hard it is to throw these types difficult shots and be this precise. So I think a lot of people just appreciate a stone that ends up being this well.
Yeah. All right, so they're just gonna take this top guard out. Maybe they can run it back. Is it gonna fall enough?
Needs to fall.
There it goes. Not gonna
Hitting the
quite
guards.
get it, so it's gonna miss. They were trying to hope for that's a long run back. That's really hard to do. But they
Caro calling for the guards.
it is open. Yeah, Caro doesn't need. They don't need to do much. Just guard it.
Yeah.
Sweeping this thing's a little bit light. Jeroen jumps in to try to really put some extra pressure on it.
Yeah.
Want to get this one to fall over. Keep on curling.
That's a very nice guards. Blocks the line. Maybe a little bit deep to be perfect guard, but still 8 out of 9 out of 10, I would say.
I think it's still a little far on the. I don't think it cut over enough. They needed that more on the center line. Because they can still get at this one, still double these 2 yellows out of the way.
Yeah.
Except that's falling. And is that going to get around the guard? I don't think so. So it was just good enough.
The guard did its job, guarding, taking one for the team. Yeah, this situation also shows how in doubles, if you just manage to get your stone in the house on the dolly, you can have a pretty comfortable position.
So they're going to set up another guard here.
Yeah.
This one looks to be a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I think it might tap the yellow one. Although it starts to slow down. That's a good guard.
Yeah, freeze those together. Make it difficult to get that back yellow out of the way. I don't think there's really anything they can do, but just clear out these top 2 and.
Yeah, Stephane says, well, just take it out. Get it out of the way.
That's some good weight. Is that gonna hold? It does.
Whoa, this is already clears 2 yellow stones.
Clears 2 out of the way. I lose a shooter. Technically, they can no longer win.
yeah, but I mean, you want to win the
end.
Yeah, win the end to just kind of show the scoreboards. What if we ignore the 6/10 and look at the game without the 6/10s, and maybe we
That's a bit. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But it's like you can't just take that 6-ender out of the game because, yes, you could, but it wouldn't be the same shots taken in the us to the end.
Yeah,
it's
of course.
Like they all lead on to the other. So.
All right, Caro's last turn of the game, Bilenky's last turn of the game. You didn't make any mistakes today, John, with counting stones and being all confused about, is this the last stone or what's happening? Who has hammer? Where am I? What day is it?
Nope. It's a pretty good broadcast for me today.
Yeah, I think it's coffee instead of beer, and suddenly we have a professional broadcaster.
No, because I was making the mistakes before I had the beer.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, this one they're gonna freeze it down. Just stop sweeping because I don't want to get too deep.
And
And
It's a little bit deep. Oh, and if it's
I think it's still doubleable.
can they double it?
I think they still can.
Like they should.
Yeah, slight off nose hit.
Yeah. Show off your takeout skills. And just clear away all of the yellow stones and have a red house.
Score 3, score 2, maybe 3. Feel good about yourself. Make the score line look a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
9-7.
Yeah, let people think, whoa, this must be a tight game, just 9-7.
Although if you look at the scoreboard, you know that the last end won't.
Yeah, correct.
But it's still, yep. A lot of people just look at the final score, so 9-7 looks a lot better than 9-4.
Yeah. Last stone of the game. Will this be a double takeout?
It's gotta stay on the wall side of the nose. That's all it's gotta do. And she gets it. Is it gonna
Nice.
fall enough? Is it
Yellow
gonna get out
sticks.
enough? Oh, the yellow stayed. So
So they have one red,
yellow, one red.
one red, yeah. And there's the handshake. Nice game.
What happens if I click shake hands? Nothing. Okay.
You're trying to disclose bugs in my perfectly designed system.
Well, so perfectly designed. Let's put quotes around that.
You can't see my face when I was mentioning perfectly.
Yeah, I think you can't see my face when you said perfectly either.
And now, important, fill in the scoreboards because Dirk
it
has to process all of the scores, send it over all the way to Chris van Roosmalen, who will post it on the website, and then that's where all of the big international media will pick up.
So, interesting match today. It was really that 6-ender early really changed the complexion of the match. How the shots they had to play. I think both teams played fairly well. There's some struggles here and there. I think SD Rox, Stephane kind of struggled with his weights on his draws, and that kind of really put an effect on the match. Jeroen and Caro really didn't have to play too many tricky shots. They weren't playing low percentage shots most of the way. I think they were able to play a little more conservative than they would normally play, just because they had that big lead early that they don't need to do much like that. So there you go. That's gonna move. It's gonna put Bilenky tied atop the table.
Yep.
With Michelle and Jose.
Yeah, see if I can quickly update the table for you guys. So we have a new view on the table. I'll have to update it first. So don't twitch too fast. I mean,
no.
I can work fast, but not that fast, of course. Don't. So we have one win for Bilenky, first 2 points. Where did Bilenky end up last season? They were second, I guess, in the.
No, Bilenky, it's a new team. They because Jeroen played with Don last year.
Is it? Nah, they played Bilenky.
Did they?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Oh,
yeah.
I only filled in the last 3 matches of doubles, so I didn't play the whole thing. So I don't know who was playing.
Yeah,
who was first. Are we updated?
Not yet. Let's see. I have to export.
So all our nerd stuff in the background so we can bring you guys up-to-date standings. Although the thing we're going to have to add to the standings is stones and ends, because those are tiebreakers, I think. Maybe. We'll have to look at the rules, like the official rules of the league to see how they do the tiebreakers. I think head-to-head is the first tiebreaker. And if that's tied, then who knows? Because I'm not sure how we're doing it this year. Is it we play everybody twice in our pool, or once in
we
our pool?
play every once. I think it's a single round robin.
Okay.
I was updating the wrong file. That was why I have to.
No, do it again.
I'll have to do it again. There was no reason for me to point out my mistakes, of course, but
Yeah,
I don't
We would
mind.
have seen it. Just me. I hadn't said anything yet.
So
No.
this should give a better result. All right. Now let's export this file, replace it in our stream assets, and then the
Wait for it to
internet
update.
do its job.
That's the only thing. That's what I have to add to the. Wait, I can do this. Oops. Well, I'm gonna put that there. And
So while the table's updating,
there you go.
this weekend we're also having more doubles games. I think we can't stream all of them, but tomorrow there are quite a number of games. I think we have the junior teams playing against. Are they playing against Luxembourg, or no? They're playing against the Dutch team.
Netherlands. Yeah.
Yep.
That's actually in the four-man league.
Yeah.
That one, we may set up the stream for that. We won't have any broadcasters because, well, it's early and I have things I got to do on a Sunday morning. But
Like sleep in. No, you have to go to the gym.
got to go get
Work on your
healthy,
yeah.
fit. So we may have the stream set up for that. We just have the cameras, the on-ice cameras, but we're not 100% sure that's going to happen.
Right.
We had a couple of more matches set up for tomorrow, but those have been postponed due to injury, I believe. So
We have Martin who's injured, so and maybe a couple of others. So this is currently the updated Belgian curling doubles league standing in Group B and Group A. We had a couple of matches. So in Group B, you see Michel and José and Bilenky tying up, having the first 2 wins of their seasons, and then SD Rox and Hammerheads on the bottom of the league.
but it's, early days,
Yeah,
one
you
match.
can't really tell. It's too early to make conclusions or draw conclusions or that kind of stuff. But I think for Bilenky it was an important win because I consider SD Rox one of the candidates to play for those top 3 positions.
It's certainly
I mean,
a stronger team, and
Yeah.
it's one of the stronger teams in all of the doubles league in both pools. But just not their morning. These things happen.
Yeah.
Bilenky putting up a really good effort there. Didn't really see many mistakes from their side today. They're going to be a force to deal with in that Group B. I think they're definitely one of the favorites to take that pool. Michel and José is a very strong team as well. IDK is going to be a dark horse. That's Timo Verreken, the skip from the Belgian men's national team, paired up with Myrta, and I cannot remember her last name for the life of me.
Myrta Michiels.
Myrta Michiels, thank you. She is the skip from the junior girls team that we have, the junior national girls team. So she's young, but she's learned a lot, and you've really seen her skills progress. So those two paired together, I think it's a good thing. They played together for the first time in the Belgian Doubles Cup last year and took third. First time playing together, but I think that Timo is a very strong leader. He's very good at taught her a lot, taught her how to do a lot of things, and I think that's really shown in her how she practices. She's also an alternate on the women's national team, so they brought her along to the European Championships last year as an alternate to give her some more experience at that top level and seeing what it takes to go into these big matches, these big competitions. So they're going to be a team, I think, that's going to be one to deal with. Lots of good teams all up and down that group.
Yeah.
I think both groups are there's a lot of good.
Yeah, definitely. It's also nice to see so many doubles teams participating in this league. If you just count 2 groups, 8 teams, like 16 teams competing in a league. brings some dynamic to Belgium curling, right? There's not just one or two or four teams. We really have a dynamic league and with a lot of different skill levels, especially with doubles. You see skilled players like Timo Vreken pairing up with young potentials like Myrte, which gives a dynamic that for us is hard to estimate. How will they perform? Can the skilled player carry the youth player? And there are some other interesting combinations. Women's players from the Huskies team partnering up with a male player to have some mixed double combinations. You have the Stephane and Danielle being an example. Caro and Jeroen, Kim and Wim. Team we played yesterday. Veerle and Dirk also an example of those kind of mixed double combinations, which is interesting to see how they will perform. And an A-League players who play in an A-League and a B-League being combined in one team. Like, how do you estimate the average skill level of those teams?
Yeah, and I think that's a lot harder to do in doubles than in the quads, because with quads you could have 3 top tier players and they can kind of lift up say a lower level player, but in doubles there's nowhere to hide. You've got to be able to on your A game the whole time. We saw it this morning. Stephane just not quite right on his draws, and that was I think the biggest difference here. I think that was the defining moment in the match, or the defining characteristic of the match, was just struggling with those middle 3 stones and getting them where you needed to, and it just puts so much pressure and leaves so much open for the other team to throw into. So still pretty good match this morning. Happy sure would have liked to have come further down to the end, but still an interesting way to watch these teams play. We're going to see a lot more going on in the coming season. As Pim is playing with the camera, there he is. He's trying to zoom in on the scoreboard. Which they didn't update. So
no, I wanted to point out, like, if you guys play, please update those scoreboards. Normally we can figure out the score by looking in, but if there is a measuring situation, just kind of put that last number on. Also kind of makes for a nice picture. But well, on that kind of mention, that's why we've built our own scoreboards on screen. We really cannot trust our players in the club to be.
But we have more curling coming up this week. We have to finalize the schedule and figure out which matches are actually going on and which ones have been postponed or moved and things like that. So we will be posting on our socials, on Instagram, on Twitter. Find us there. We'll definitely be making posts. We're going to be putting up shots of the match from this match, from our match last night. See those coming up in the next couple of days. Excuse me. So keep an eye out for us there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody who tuned in this early morning. We know you guys are curling fanatics if you're watching curling from Belgium at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. We really do appreciate it. Hope to see you guys in further streams. And that's all I've got for today.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of tempted to join the broomstackers behind us at the bar in Curling Club Semst. We had a nice breakfast edition. We had our sandwiches here. Belgian coffee sandwiches, so that was nice. I think curling on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock can be pleasant. We also had some people sitting here at the venue having a pleasant
coffee, watching the match.
I think it's relaxing. I think it's also a relaxing sport to look at. But now, let's join the guys, see how they played, see if their impression of the game completely mismatches ours. That could also be the case.
All right, so thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate it. And again, watch us on the socials, on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so you can get notified.
I was just gonna say, I feel kind of dirty saying it, but well, this is what you have to do. Please subscribe, ring the bell, follow us.
If any questions, comments, concerns, just random tips you want to give us, go ahead and send it to our email at curtiatv@gmail.com, and we will read it, and we will try to take your suggestions into consideration. So thank you very much once again, and until next time, bye.
Bye.